The chair of the Progressive Caucus, Pramila Jayapal. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Congresswoman. And as we jump right into this Inflation Reduction Act, now in the hands of the House, the Progressive Caucus would have liked to seen a little bit more, I'm sure. But if this passes with the most significant financial investment in stopping climate change in U.S. history, in your opinion, is there enough here that your caucus will be happy with the outcome?
Kana, it's great to see you. And absolutely, this is a significant movement forward on a number of progressive priorities, including the biggest investment, as you said, in climate, cutting carbon emissions by 40% by 2030. That is a huge accomplishment. But also, in addition to that, cutting costs for the American people. I mean, we are going to save the American family, the average American family, about $1,000 in energy costs, but also significantly in terms of healthcare costs, because we're continuing subsidies for the Affordable Care Act, and it's important that everybody pays their fair share. So yes, we're disappointed about some of the things that were left on the cutting room floor, but we are very, very excited about the significant progress that we're making and the role the Progressive Caucus had in drafting the original bill that had so many of these provisions in it.
And while I know you want to drive home the cost-cutting measures here, the Joint Committee on Taxation also put some analysis of this bill, finding that it would actually raise taxes a small amount for Americans across the board, though. And again, that's just the taxes part of it, not the provisions that supporters of the bill say would cancel out those tax increases. Either way, is this the right time to at all be raising taxes in any way on all Americans?
Well, that analysis simply doesn't look at the net effect on families, as you pointed out. So if you look at the fact that we're cutting costs and we are not raising taxes on anyone earning under $400,000, that is the pledge that we made, then you find that actually the entire analysis left out a number of pieces. So yes, it is absolutely the right time to make sure we're raising taxes on the wealthiest. Nobody earning under $400,000 will see increased taxes, and the average American family is going to see a significant reduction in costs.
One of the most progressive members of Congress, Ilhan Omar, survived a very tight primary challenge last night. Do you think that's a warning sign to you and your caucus that perhaps candidates like Omar might not appeal to moderate Democrats or independent voters?
Well, you know, here's the thing. Every election is just about who wins and who loses. And I'm really glad that my colleague, Representative Omar, won, because she's been a tremendous force for good in Congress. She has been delivering for her constituents, I know, because she talks to me all the time about helping with the specific provisions that are going to bring money back to her district. And I think she's been doing that. And so I think that progressive candidates are winning across the country, including in some very tough swing district seats in places like Oregon, in places across the country. We had great progressive wins with Delia Ramirez in Illinois, with Summer Lee in Pennsylvania. So we're going to continue that momentum for progressive wins in Congress with our candidates and our incumbents.
How concerned are you by some GOP backlash to this FBI raid on Mar-a-Lago and some of your colleagues suggesting that Republicans need to fight back?
I think it is a terrible thing that so much of this violent rhetoric and actions have been fueled by the last president. I am worried that the violent rhetoric coming from my GOP colleagues around a president who really needs to be investigated, and the January 6th committee has been showing that, is very disturbing. I think it's just a continued effort by the Republican Party and extreme MAGA Republicans to ramp up violent attacks, rhetoric and actions, and I do think that's troubling.
And finally now, one of the few Republicans in the House that voted to impeach former President Trump conceded their race last night, including one from your state as well. So as we look ahead towards Liz Cheney's primary next week, what does it say about the state of the Republican Party, in your opinion, and those that speak up against Trump? They have major challenges winning their races, as we've seen.
Well, it's a sad state of affairs. Liz Cheney has been an incredible patriot. She has stood up for the country over her own party. And I think, unfortunately, she recognizes and is courageous enough to say that the Republican Party cannot be a party of the big lie, a one-man cult, which is what it's turned into.
Congresswoman, our thanks to you, Pramila Jayapal out of Washington. Thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.